What up, everybody? It's your boy DTLF back on another video, man. We got a good one for you guys today. We're going to talk about opening week schedule. We're going to talk about the Christmas Day games. And let me close the door really quick. We're going to talk about a couple of things, guys. I want to touch subject with as well as some updates on THC and stuff like that. But how y'all doing? What's up, Esther? What's up, Nick? Let's get right into it. So without further ado, the NBA just released the schedule today, not the full schedule, but the opening week schedule for the first couple of games, and also they released the Christmas Day games. So we got a couple of nice games here to look at, man. Let's start off with the opening week. All right, opening week is Tuesday, okay, October the 19th, and we got Brooklyn versus Milwaukee to open things up. That's going to be interesting. Obviously, they got a little Eastern semifinals rematch right there at 4:30 Pacific time. Time. And then we're going to have Golden State versus the Lakers. Now, we know Golden State is revamped. We know Golden State is ready for a fight this year. They're going to be a different team. Obviously, they got some rookies and all that. So that's going to be fun to watch. My boy said, Beverly looking like a clown. We got to try and get Rondo. I'm not sure about Rondo, man. I love Rondo as a player, and I'm very grateful for what he did. But here's the thing, all right? The thing is that, we don't know how it's going to be, right? We definitely don't know how it's going to be when with Russell Westbrook. We know they have bad blood. We don't want to. The last thing we want is to start with bad chemistry. So good to see you too, Colin. Welcome, guys. So looking at the schedule here, man, a lot of games to get excited about. All right. So obviously Tuesday everything starts October 19th this season. So there you go. That's officially the first game. Thanks for donation, bro, by the way. And then obviously Wednesday, you got the Knicks versus the Boston Celtics. Every NBA game at that point is going to be must watch because it's the start of the new season. We all want to see the new teams. Kemba Walker back to not Madison Square. I'm sorry, back to the Garden to play for the Knicks, and he's going to be facing his former team. The NBA always does a great job of putting these storylines together. And then you got Denver versus Phoenix. This is a second round rematch of the playoffs last year. And then you're going to have Luka Thursday, the 21st. You're going to have Luka Doncic versus Trae Young. That's always fun to watch. Everybody knows they got traded for each other. They get compared to each other all the time. Trae Young taking his team to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So he's winning the race right now. But Luka puts up immaculate numbers. And then I don't know why, this game's even on TNT, but you're going to have the Flippers versus the Golden State Warriors on TNT. And this is all opening week, by the way. What's up, Tommy? And then you're going to have Brooklyn Nets versus Philly. Philly is going to be interesting to see if Ben Simmons even on the team when that comes around. And then, of course, you're going to have your boy Devin Booker versus the Lakers, man. It's going to be fun. Everybody wanted that game. They wanted to prove last year was a fluke. There's going to be our chance. Hopefully, we're healthy and ready to go by the end of training camp, and that should be fun, man. He said, Dan, I'm a Warriors fan, but I respect the Lakers. Appreciate you, Darius. Appreciate you, man. Should be a fun game. I'm looking forward to it. But this is the opening week schedule, and it only goes up from there, guys. So what game are you guys most excited about? Obviously, every Laker game is for me. Esther says, hey, Dan, I like opening week games and the Nets versus Lakers. Are there any games they don't have on to be the Lakers that you wish we could have seen opening week or Christmas Day? I mean, to be honest, anything the Lakers are involved in, I'm always excited. But if it's a non-Laker game, I always like to see Luka Doncic destroy the Clippers any time of the year. So that's always fun, right? Especially this year, the Clippers got even worse. But we'll see what happens. Look, a lot of interesting games right off the bat. For those of you guys just tuning in, this is the opening week schedule once more. I want to show it to you guys. Smash the like button as well, guys. So the game that stands out that's non-Laker related right here, right off the bat, to me at least, is probably the very first one of the year. Brooklyn versus Milwaukee. That's a powerhouse game. You get to see, we're going to get to see James Harden watching the Milwaukee Bucks getting rings while he doesn't. He joined the super team for what? So that should be fun. And then let's see if Giannis can defend his ring on title night. That's always, it's hard to win opening ring ceremony night because you're distracted, you're emotional, you're happy you're receiving your rings, and then boom, the NBA season is underway. So that game should be fun for reals. But besides that, I mean, there's a lot to look forward to this season, especially with the Lakers. Hey, what up, Rios? Get Rondo back. We'll see, man. It doesn't sound too promising, to be honest with you, man. Doesn't sound too promising because of the fact that, the chemistry issues are we got to watch out for that. This year we want excellent chemistry, no excuses. Who are the last 3 roster spots? We don't know, man. For all we know, we could end up going with those into the season. Maybe we'll fill up 1 or 2 more, but I'm not sure. Anyways, I want to show you guys the Christmas Day games now. Christmas Day games are going to be interesting as well. It's going to be a blast. Thanks, Angel. Appreciate you, bro. There you go. You got Hawks versus Knicks Christmas Day. So that's a fun little game. That one's going to be early in the morning for you early risers. Well, not that early, but, people like to sleep in. Then you got Boston versus Milwaukee. Should be fun. We're going to get Golden State versus the Phoenix Suns. And then the game everybody's been waiting for. The one we knew we're going to get Christmas Day for sure. This one, getting my juices pumping just thinking about it, guys. Just thinking about this game, I'm going crazy. And that's the Brooklyn Nets versus the Lakers. By the way, Bleacher Report always disrespecting my Lakers. They put the big 4 of Brooklyn, including Patty Mills, and they didn't even include Russell Westbrook on our side of the picture. Super disrespectful, man. I can't stand Bleacher Report. But it is what it is. Look, then you're gonna have the Dallas Mavericks versus the Jazz. That game will be whatever, but the Lakers versus the Brooklyn Nets, man. The NBA knew what they were doing. If you look at this card right here, it's not really stacked. Besides the Brooklyn Laker game, the other games are fun little games, but everybody's just chilling on Christmas Day, spending time with their family. You're not really paying attention to the rest of those games. The one everybody will be watching at 5 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN and ABC will be that Brooklyn Nets versus the Lakers game. So that's a 10 out of 10. They knew what they were doing. They stacked the card, but not really. Like I said, most of the heavy hitter games are opening week. I just showed you guys that schedule. That one looks better, to be honest with you, overall. But, of course, Brooklyn Lakers, that's a must-watch. Must-see TV. Am I going to go to a Lakers game this year, Dan? Depends on how strict they are with their vaccination situation. Depends on that, man. Hey, what up, Alex? What's up, bro? But yes, it should be a blast. If you notice, let me plug in the charger on my laptop because I don't want it to die here on me. But if you notice, guys, a lot of storylines around the NBA. You're going to have some of the top picks playing. If you notice, the NBA didn't really focus on the lottery picks. We didn't see any Detroit Piston type games or Houston Rocket games on the on the schedule. So, the NBA is smart. They know what they're doing. They know what we want to see this year. It's fun to watch the young players and the young picks and all that, but we want to see some winning brand basketball teams, and that's what you get to see Christmas Day right here. All right, mainly winners, teams that made a deep run into the season, except for Boston. But outside of Boston, everybody else, right? And that's the trend this year. It's all about winning. They put the first overall, second overall pick on the back burner. We'll get to see those along, through the course of the season. But this is what NBA fans want to see. They want to see the top heavy teams versus each other, the heavy hitters. And that's what we got this year, guys. So I'm super hyped. Just wanted to do a little recap. Now, what do I think is going to happen opening night when we face the Golden State Warriors? Well, I think the Warriors are going to be ready. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a blast. It might go into overtime. Remember, Klay Thompson is back. We don't know how he's going to look yet, but let's just assume he's going to look good. Decent to good. You got Curry. You got Draymond. You got that the new lottery pick. I don't know. I still haven't learned his name. Kaminskis or what? I don't know. I don't know his name. But you guys know what I'm talking about. The 7th overall pick and number 14. They still got good role players that killed us last season. I mean, last year, Andrew Wiggins was starting to finally find his niche. So let's see how he finds his way in Golden State. And then you still got Draymond, last I checked, and a bench. So, and then what is it? Kaminga. I'm probably as bad as Charles Barkley at pronouncing these foreign names, man. So my apologies, but I try my best. Thank you, Showtime. Appreciate it. But that's going to be a fun game, and we'll get to finally see the debut of the real deal Lakers squad, man. And now I don't expect preseason, to basically to see a lot of the starting lineup in preseason. Maybe they'll play the last game, but I'm not sure if they'll even play a full game. To be honest with you guys, so it'll be interesting to see how we're looking, as far as firing on all cylinders. Who's my starting five on opening night, Dan? My starting five is Russell Westbrook, Malik Monk, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Dwight. But the starting five, I believe, that Frank Vogel will roll out based on his, track record and just him favoring veterans is going to be Russell Westbrook, Wayne Ellington, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Dwight, or Marcus Gasol. So, just looking at his track record, he can start off with the different lineups, but I respect it this year because we got the right pieces. You can move them around. Doesn't matter who starts. It matters more who finishes. So, I look forward to seeing how our lineup is going to look. I think there will be some training camp battles, some preseason battles. So, everybody's eyes is going to be on the Lakers this year, for sure. I mean, they are every year, but especially this year. He said, we're kind of small at the two guard. Who would you think we should start? We're not small at the two guard. We got good size, man. Wayne Ellington is 6'3", 6'4". He's a good size. And then you got Malik Monk, who's 6'3", with a good wingspan as well. But you want to know who I would love to start? And I doubt it'll happen. But let me show you guys. I actually want to show you guys something interesting. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you already saw it. But if you don't, you're in for a nice little surprise. Or Instagram. I think I posted on Instagram. This is who I want to start right here. This is who I hope they're grooming into that starting position because I think he has the potential to be a nice two-way player. If he improved his jump shot, I'd love to see him start at some point. I doubt it'll happen. Again, we're all about winning now, so I doubt it'll happen. But the reason why is because this was Talen Horton-Tucker last season. Look at his body, right? He looks pretty fit still, a little on the pudgier side, built kind of like a fridge. But check out what he's done over the summer. Bam. New THC, everybody. That's a difference. I mean, if you look at the before and after, it's like a different person, man. It's like a different person. It's like he shed the baby weight and he's ready. This is a more mobile version. This is probably going to be a more explosive version. He's probably going to be jumping out the building and finishing those dunks he was missing last year. And very proud of this kid, man. He looks cut up. I guess that boxing regimen he had really worked out. And it might even impact his jumper because he'll have more lift on his shots. So this is my secret weapon for the season. If he pans out, he might start at some point. However, if I had to bet the house on it, Wayne Ellington will start at the two guard. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you guys have Talen Horton-Tucker starting? Do you guys think somebody else will start? I mean, sound off, Laker Nation. I want to hear what Laker Nation truly thinks. He said THC for most improved bet. That'd be nice. Do I want Rondo back if he gets cut? Sure. I wouldn't mind Rondo back. Here's the problem. You got to worry about the chemistry. Remember, first of all, if you look at our guards, we're stacked. Starting lineup, bench unit, we're pretty stacked already as we are. Whose minutes is he going to take? And is he going to be happy being a third string guard? All that has to come into play. Not only that, but they have to get on the same page, both in the locker room and off the and on the court and off the court. Russell Westbrook, we know the little issue they had. Now, all that can be squashed because winning cures everything. But at the same time, you have to wonder what's going to happen. I would love Rondo. Me too, man. He said, I think Vogel is going to put all three and test who performs the best. I heard them say you're going to have to earn your spot this year. It's going to be different than last year. I hope so. Because, look, let's be honest. Frank Vogel always says that. And he has rewarded THT with more PT from his rookie season to now. So let's hope that trend continues. Because the kid is showing his hunger. He's showing he has what it takes to be a really good player in this league. I mean, this doesn't happen by accident, okay? For those of you just tuning in, I'll show it again. THC last year, look at the body. Look at the muscle definition. Look at the arms. Look at the face. Everything transformed. THC this year, all right? He looks more NBA ready. He looks like he's going to kill it this year. He looks like a most improved player candidate. Let's hope that it's all of the above, because if it is, you're looking at your future either starting 2 guard or starting 1. Depends. But I'm excited. Regardless, this team has the makings of one of the all-time greats, and I'm looking forward to seeing if we get out the gate quickly or if it's going to take us time to mesh. Regardless, I'm excited. You guys see the schedule. If you guys have any questions, I'm here for you right now. Now, I do want to cover a little bit of the Summer League. Today's the Summer League finale. I'm not sure who's playing yet, but we play the Warriors. Now, obviously, we didn't make it to the final game, which is the championship game, but everybody had one last game tonight. It's the Lakers' final Summer League game. So I'm also very curious to look at the talent there. Remember, there's still 3 wide open roster spots. It's most likely going to go to veterans, but you never know if a young player makes his way on board. It's a long shot, but he really has to impress. Again, Trevelin Queen has been that guy for me who has impressed me, caught my eye, reminds me of a young Trevor Ariza. Could play without the ball, off-ball player, can cut really well, and plays excellent defense. I like that. That translates to the next level for sure. I hope we can mesh quickly. Yeah, I agree, Esther. If that happens, then we might we might start off 20-5. That's how good this team is. I believe in this team truly and thoroughly. And I think we have to get out to quick starts this year, in contrast to last year when we got off to slow starts and then we'd be trailing and playing catch up, Lawrence, what's up, bro? Appreciate you, man. He said Law can play. Vic Law did look good. He didn't play the last game, though. I'm curious if he'll play the season finale. He said, Dan, I feel great. The Lakers is going to have good chemistry. I think so, too. But remember, everything looks amazing on paper. It still has to translate to the court. I have no doubt we have probably the best team in basketball. But they have to go out there and prove it night in and night out. At the end of the day, the game is played between the lines. So they got to go out there and perform it. And here's the key, just being healthy. This is why I want us to get off the quicker starts. That way the older guys can get off the court quicker, right? If we go up 15-20 on average a night, then the younger guys can play. Guys like THC, Kendrick Nunn, and Malik Monk can take over, while Russell Westbrook, LeBron, and AD can sit, and thus preserving him for the playoffs, right? That is the recipe for success in the long term. I don't care about success in the short term. We're in it for the marathon. We want to win the whole race. We don't want to win the first game of the season and then, the first couple games and then boom, start slowing down with injuries. No, the key is health, man. That's the only key, in my opinion, for us to win a championship. We stay healthy, we win the championship. We don't stay healthy, anything can happen, just like last season. He said, Dan, Dwight Howard brings up the mood by 140. No, he's definitely an energizer, man. You got to love that. I absolutely love what Dwight Howard brings to the team, not just on the court, but off the court. He has a great energy. The chemistry's there. Same thing with Jared Dudley. So I'm hoping if he doesn't make the roster, at least we bring him onto the team, eventually. No, I did not, Alex. For personal reasons, man. Nothing against, you guys got to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. But me and my family have felt amazing without the vaccine, and we've had friends who've got it. And I don't want to, speak too much on the subject, but let's just say, do your research and make your own, come out with your own conclusions, man. I'm going out to work out in the gym every day. I'm doing the things I have to do, but still trying to stay safe, obviously. At the end of the day, man, it's either you do it or you don't, whatever's best for you and your family. What do you think of the Flippers getting Eric Bledsoe? Look, man, I made fun of this trade, not because they got Eric Bledsoe or because I don't like Eric Bledsoe. I made fun of the trade because Patrick Beverley said they had the next 5 years. Okay. He said this when they acquired Kawhi Leonard. I told you guys, I predicted nothing will happen. They won't win a championship, and that team will fall apart, and then Kawhi will regret going to the Clippers. Well, Kawhi Leonard is a weird dude, right? I guess he likes it where he's at. He just re-upped for another 4-year deal. But the other part of my prediction did come true. The Clippers basically did fall apart since then. They no longer have Trez. They no longer have Patrick Beverley. They no longer have Lou Williams. All these were key role players that Skip Bayless claimed was going to win the championship. So for those reasons, I was making fun of that trade, not because I disrespect Eric Bledsoe. Now, How much of a help is Eric Bledsoe, and where does he fit at all? Reggie Jackson just balled out last season. So what, is Eric Bledsoe going to be the sixth man? It doesn't. This move doesn't put any sort of fear in me. I get it. They got rid of the annoying Chihuahua who always barks, but they also got rid of a very good leader and a veteran in Rondo. And let's see what happens there. He said to Steph, the next 5 years is his. He meant the next 5 trades. That's pretty funny. I mean, he did just get traded again today, or was it yesterday or today, to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So this dude just, he talks his way into situations. Maybe he should learn from that. Sometimes it's better to keep quiet. You do all this talking and all this barking, you average 2 points a game. Those are the words. Everybody who plays real basketball, any sort of organized basketball, or even street ball, that the player on the court usually that's talking the most usually isn't the best player on the court. And that seems to be the case in the NBA as well. Usually the barker, right? The person that's barking the most, the Draymond Greens of the world, the Patrick Beverleys of the world, they're never the best player on the court. So my motto is just let my game do the talking. That's the way I play. And people talk smack to me, I bust their ass. I go off I drop 15 to 20 on their head. And now guess what? They got to humble themselves. That's the way you humble people. I like players that do that in the NBA too. Now, it's one thing if Patrick Beverley's barking in your face and then LeBron dunks on him, then he gets in his face. Okay, that's called payback. I don't mind that at all. Again, organized basketball, everybody knows the person that does the most talking 9 times out of 10 isn't the best player. It's rare when the talker is the best player. That rarely happens, man. He said, we can agree that Draymond is better than Patrick Beverley. Oh, by miles. I'm not ragging on Draymond Green. I'm just saying sometimes his mouth gets him in trouble. Sometimes their mouth gets them in trouble. They'll piss off the great legendary players, and they'll go off on them, right? Even fans have done it, right? Even fans have done it. Fans have Spike Lee historically, right? Everybody remembers this, right? With Reggie Miller, he busted the Knicks' ass because of Spike Lee running his mouth. He shouldn't have did that. He should have just, cheered for his team. And but it's good for the game. I mean, you gotta love it. It's fun. He said, "Hey Dan, how do you think Vogel staggers our bigs threes minutes? Our big threes minutes? That's a good question. Look, Frank Vogel is very unpredictable as well. All right, last season I thought I had him pegged out. He surprised me by not playing Montrezl Harrell, who I thought was our second best big after AD. So the way I would do it if I was Frank Vogel is like this, okay? I'm playing Russell Westbrook and LeBron. One of the two have to be on the court at all times because both of those guys are continuously playing aggressive and putting pressure at the rim. That's the way I would do it. The only time I would have both of them out is like I mentioned, when you have a 15 to 20 point lead, and then you can let the rest of the guys do their thing and try to keep, adding on to the league. But if it's ever a close game, you got to have one of the two on the court at all times with Anthony Davis or without Anthony Davis, You have to have the inner Mamba. Exactly. You let your game do the talking. He says sports, not politics. Michael, what are you talking about, bro? Nobody's talking about politics here, man. You talking about the vaccine question? I mean, they asked me the question. I answered it fairly enough. The guy paid, so he got his money's worth. He got my answer. He said, which new Laker player are you excited to watch this season? Russell Westbrook. I'm excited to see all of them, but the one that I'm the most excited for is Russell Westbrook because let's be real. Russell Westbrook, everybody said he wouldn't fit in his team. All right. Before the rumors even started, I felt like a player like Russell Westbrook would actually fit on this team because he's a complete opposite to Dennis, who was just basically anemic last year. Okay. The way he played, he looked like he had zero energy on the court. I was sick of watching that all season long. And for those reasons, I said Russell Westbrook would be a perfect fit. I wouldn't be shocked because he doesn't fit the timeline in Washington if the Lakers went out and got him. Plus, he's a good friends with LeBron James. It's a buddy-buddy league. That was my prediction. We get Russell Westbrook here. People are like, well, Dan, I thought you hated Russell Westbrook. No, I hated the way he talked trash and the way he's always mad and the way, I definitely didn't like his fans because, well, not his fans, but I'll say the people that felt like he would lead a team to a championship. I always felt like his skill set wasn't to lead a team to a championship. He's a very good star. he could have been a third option or a second option alongside LeBron James is perfect. But as a first option, I always knew it wouldn't. So his fans that always used to think he was going to win a championship, I'll tell them not. So it wasn't really hate. I always respected how hard he played, and I like his skill set. I just didn't feel. I felt like the illusion that they were selling to OKC about a championship, him and Paul George bringing a championship, that is when I used to talk smack about Westbrook, because I felt like that would never happen, and that's just an illusion. I was right. It really was. And they were better trading him away, and he's much better as a third option, sometimes a second option, sometimes even a first option in this team, but consistently a third option. And I'm very excited to see how he makes that adaptation. Remember, they have to put their egos away, all three of them. All three of them have to realize that they have to play the game and let it flow through whoever's hot that night in order for this to work out. Everybody knows LeBron James is the main guy because he's the best player on this team. Everybody knows that. He's the best player in the world still till today. At age 36, going on 37. Carmelo knows it. Everybody. But in order for this thing to work out, they have to put everything to the side and say, okay, tonight Russell Westbrook has it going. Get him the ball. Let him attack. Let him do what he's doing. Sometimes they're all going to have it going at the same time. It's going to just be flowing. They're going to be playing that pick and roll nasty. They're going to be attacking the rim. You're going to have AD on the left, LeBron on the right. Which one are you going to lob it up to, Westbrook? It's going to be a beautiful thing. But there's going to be nights when somebody is struggling. It's either going to be LeBron James, or it's going to be Anthony Davis, or it's going to be Russell Westbrook. If that happens, those players have to find other ways to impact the game. Forget about what ESPN is writing, because there's going to be stupid articles that say, oh, Russell Westbrook's no longer as aggressive. He has regressed since joining LeBron James. Or Anthony Davis takes a step back as a third option alongside Russell Westbrook or LeBron. Or LeBron James' father time is undefeated. It's going to be some stupid article that tries to split them up. They have to understand that this comes with the territory. You already see them writing about how old they are. So egos, put to the side and just play the game the way it's supposed to be played. If that happens, it's going to be magical brand of basketball. I believe it will happen. I believe this is what they met up and talked about. I believe this is exactly what needs to happen. This is what didn't happen with Kobe and Shaq. That's why they won 3 instead of 5 or 6. All right. They didn't put their egos to the side, and they both wanted to be alphas. Sometimes somebody got to be a little bit of a beta, and there's nothing wrong with that in basketball. Right? Now, I get it. If your team doesn't have any other superstars, you have to be the alpha. LeBron. That was the criticism for years on the Cavs. And he became that, especially after going to Miami and coming back. Same thing with Russell Westbrook. Sometimes he had to be the alpha because his team wasn't good enough. Or AD with the Pelicans. But those days are over. Now you're on a super team, right? Now you got Hall of Famers like Dwight Howard, like Carmelo Anthony, like Russell Westbrook, like Anthony Davis, like LeBron James. That's 5 Hall of Famers right off the bat. And now you got to learn how to trust your role players as well, because not only the Hall of Famers, but you're going to have good guys, role players who can knock down big shots. Kendrick Nunns of the world, the Malik Monks. Yes, even the THTs of the world. So that's what I look forward to watching the most, man. To answer your question, I know it was a long answer, but Russell Westbrook and seeing how he adapts and seeing him actually embrace his role as a legitimate third option on a super team. Oh, I can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait. He said, DTLF, hope that Westbrook doesn't turn into Westbrook. Again, he doesn't need to take that many shots on his team. He will go off at times, but the reason he was Westbrook on those other teams because he was forcing the issue sometimes. And that comes from not trusting your teammates or trying to do too much. That's exactly what he needs to not do. If Russell Westbrook can trust his teammates, which I think he will, obviously. You saw last year when he was in Washington, they got off to a slow start. Everybody was trying to do too much. Westbrook, Bradley Beal. When they started trusting each other, they actually made a nice little run. And they even made it to the postseason. Not to the postseason, but to the play-in tournament, right? Which nobody expected. So they pull up and they grab an AC when they started at the bottom of the barrel to start the league. So that tells you that Russell Westbrook is very capable of making adjustments. Dan, how important do you feel the number 1 seed is this year with everyone coming back healthy? Well, Esther, you know what? Number 1 seed has some value again in the NBA because we saw home court advantage is back. The fans, The crowd noise is going to be back. Hopefully, Los Angeles can get their home court advantage this season. But home court advantage is back, and that means something. So if you get the number 1 seed, not just in the West, but in the NBA, that means you have home court advantage throughout, and that can definitely help a Laker team recapture the title for sure. Now, it's not the be all end all if we don't get the number 1 seed, but I would love it for it to happen, and I think it's very possible. We have the best team in the West for sure. Other teams will rival us for sure. You got Golden State, who's going to be a very different team than they were the last couple of years. They struggled without Clay. Clay means a lot to that team. He's not only is he a pure shooter, but he's one of the best defenders in the league for his position, for his size, 6'7", 6'8", and he has one of the pure strokes. The Splash Bros will be back, and they add a young talent, so they have a nice little blend. That's probably the second most dangerous team in the West right off the bat if they come back fully healthy. All right, right off the bat, I could say that. After that, in the West, you got to remember Jamal Murray's going to come back. Denver's pretty stacked too. So that I'd probably put them at number 3. Number 4, probably Utah. Number 5, I put the Suns because to me, they were a fluke last season. They were the beneficiaries of all these injuries, and it won't happen again this year at all. Then I think AD will have a breakout year. Everybody seems to forget that he was a walking bucket. Oh, I definitely did not forget, and I agree. I think he's one of the biggest beneficiaries of having both a healthy LeBron James and Russell Westbrook. Remember, Russell Westbrook is still fast, even at his age, 32 years of age. He can still get from point A to point B quickly. He's like a zipper. He just zoop all the way. And what that does is that shifts the defense, creating space for other players, creating wide open shots for your big man, for your stretch players, just creating spaces. Been a while since your boy played with somebody like that. The Lakers still haven't replaced Lionel Hollins on the coaching staff. I say they hired Terry Stotts or Gentry. He said, I wanted Brooks now that they got Westbrook. It'll be interesting to see who replaces. But I did hear that a couple of the other assistant coaches have gotten some of that, that coaching responsibility. So it'll be interesting. But I think obviously, let's see how Frank Vogel and his coaching staff adapt to this new roster. We got about 10 new bodies so far with 3 open roster slots. So we could end up with a whole 12 to 13 new bodies this season. That's a lot. That's basically revamping the whole team. And it's going to be a lot of work to be done to making sure everybody's on the same page and finding the right rotations and who plays the best when they're on the court together, the best combinations, all of that stuff, man. And this is why I look forward to covering training camp, preseason, and all that good stuff. All of it. Are you okay with getting back Svi Mikhailuk? I like Svi. I think he's a great player. I think he's somebody who, I wouldn't say great player, but he's a good role player. He's somebody who can knock down shots, and he played solid defense while he was here. Now, it's been a couple of years, so hopefully he didn't pick up no bad habits from that losing squad. But all in all, I like him. We got 3 open roster spots. I have an open mind, and it'll be fun. It's gonna be fun. Now, I got the couple of key dates here for the regular season's compliments of Laker fanatics on Twitter. So September 28th, officially training camp, guys. September 28th. So next month on the 28th. I can't wait. Time's just gonna go by slowly these next 40 days or so before the next season starts. Okay, that's so September 28th. Mark your calendars. Training camp starts. That's when my coverage gets really heavy. I start looking at practices and at what the coaching staff is saying and who's probably going to start and all that. We're going to break down all of that. October 19th is regular season, okay, officially. So that's the date. Obviously, we're all excited. October is one of my favorite times of the year. All the good stuff happens. Halloween, you got the new season, everything. All the key stuff happens in October, right? Even the fun little sport video games come out by October. So everything, guys. And then you're going to have the key matchup on Christmas Day, right? Christmas Day, Nets, Lakers. What am I looking forward to on that matchup? Just seeing all the cross matchups. Okay, seeing James Harden versus Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, LeBron, KD, AD. All the cross matchups, Carmelo, Patty Mills, just to see who has the better role players. You kind of start getting a little glimpse. You kind of start win or lose that game. All I want to see is the edge. I want to see the Lakers play with that edge and come out here and not give a damn, right? They have to come out here and just fearlessly, put on, play like it's a game 7 of the finals, and send a message to the league. That's what I want. Now I'm not sure if I'll get that because sometimes injuries happen, stars miss games. There is load management, all that stuff. So that's another key date. Then April 12th through April 15th, you got the play-in tournament. Yeah, that's still a thing. For those of you that didn't know, the play-in tournament is still a thing this season in the NBA, guys. Still a thing. And then, of course, playoffs start April 16th, and then the finals will be in June the 2nd, per usual, right? But what a season this is going to be, man. Besides, I want to ask you guys this. Besides the Lakers, what other teams are you guys looking forward to seeing, right? Besides opening week and the Lakers matchups and all that good stuff. I mean, there's tons to talk about. I want to see LaMelo play again. His growth. Is his brother going to be on the team? So many storylines. I want to see the top picks in the draft and see how they adapt to the NBA. Because anybody can dominate Summer League, but the NBA is a different thing, man. Different thing. It's not going to be as comfortable. It's not going to be as easy. So all of that. And then, of course, we got preseason. I didn't mention preseason. Preseason, October 3rd at Staples Center. We play the Nets. So I don't expect starters to be playing that game, but preseason starts on October 3rd. October 6th, we play the Phoenix Suns. And then October 8th, the Golden State Warriors. So, yeah, that's preseason for you right there. He said, I like this lineup. Russ at the 1, LeBron at the 2, Trevor at the 3, AD at the 4, and Dwight at the 5. Now, for this lineup to work right here, both LeBron and Trevor have to be able to knock down threes consistently. I don't doubt it could happen, but that's more of a situational lineup for me, Enrique. I don't mind the lineup, but I expect it to be more like towards ends of games, then maybe you could see that. But the thing I do like about your lineup is all the size. Russell Westbrook, 6'4", 6'5". LeBron James, 6'10". Trevor Ariza, 6'8", 6'9". Right? AD, 6'10". And then Dwight, 6'10". So I do like the versatility and the mobility and the size for sure. For sure. My boy said, DTLF, do you want Kevin Love if he gets bought out? I say, why not? I mean, that's a very low risk, high reward. Imagine he rediscovers his passion for basketball here in Los Angeles. He's from here. He's from SoCal. So maybe that's the key for him to start playing like old Kevin Love, or at least some version of it. If he can start spacing the floor for us and getting rebounds and hitting us with some outlet passes, just like he used to do back with the Timberwolves, back with UCLA, that's all he needs to do. Just play his role. So I'd be cool with it. Anytime you add more versatility, more size, I'm happy with it. My boy said, looking forward to seeing Clay for the Warriors. Me too, man. I'm excited to have him back for sure. The NBA has missed him. Great player. Very respectful. I'm a fan of his individually, but I don't really like the Warriors. I respect the franchise, but I don't really like them like that. He said, looking forward to seeing. He said, Dan, are you ready to boo Dennis? Oh, yeah. Especially because he went to the rival team, the real rival team, the Boston Celtics. Dennis Schroeder, man. I can't say enough stuff about this guy. He really fell off the face of the earth, but I think it's called karma because he was acting really cocky with the Lakers. He came here, demanded starting spot. You don't do that on a championship team. We're fresh out the title. You don't demand anything. You get what we give you. And then he just decided to stop playing after he didn't reach a contract extension. So he pouted, and this is your reward for pouting. So kids out there, man, if you don't get your way, dust yourself up, try harder. All right, all this pouting is not going to get you nowhere. He went from $21 million a year to $5.9 1-year deal. Everything else ain't guaranteed. What if he sucks this year? His value is going to go down tremendously. So, or worse, if he gets injured, just like Isaiah Thomas. We know how Boston likes to do injured players. So, yeah. He said, I'm hyped to see the Warriors, Bulls, Hawks, and the Knicks. I'm really hyped to see I'll say I'm hyped to see 29 teams in the NBA, except for the Clippers. But everybody else, I'm excited to see, man, to be honest with you. Who in the West do you think give the Lakers the hardest run to the playoffs? It's got to be Golden State. Got to be. They're the only ones that have, star power still. Obviously, they still got Clay, Dre, and Steph And then they got lottery picks as well on top of that, with healthy Jameis. What is his name? Winston, something like that. They're big man, so they got some pieces there, and it'll be interesting to see if they perform a blockbuster trade. I still haven't ruled that out. I think they're just waiting for the right deal. But if somebody becomes available, like a Bradley Beal or somebody like that, they definitely have the trade assets. Their 7th overall pick looks amazing. It looks like they got another one. One thing everybody knows about the Warriors, they're great at drafting. So, they got another one. Wiseman, yes. James Wiseman. Yes, sir. He said, here's my starting 5. Point guard, Russ. My boy had Malik Monk at the 2. Bazemore at the 3. Wait, no. He said Russ, point guard, Monk, shooting guard, Bazemore, small forward, Braun, power forward, AD center. That's an interesting one. That's the first time I see that lineup, bro. That's the first time I see that one. So that one's interesting for sure. I'm not a big fan of that lineup because Bazemore is better suited as a role player, and I much rather have AD at the 4 and then just play him at the 5 down the stretch in fourth quarter. And fourth quarters where the defense can't scheme for him and they can't be ready for him. So yeah. Dan can't wait to go against Washington and the ex-Lakers. There's another storyline that's going to be fun to watch. The growth of KCP on Washington, who supposedly is a great friend with Bradley Beal. So that should be fun to watch. Then my boy Kuzma's over there. Excited for him. Trez, rooting for those guys, man. Looking forward to it. Except when they play us, of course. Dan, bench one player. LeBron, Shaq, KD, Curry, Kobe, or MJ? That's kind of easy for me. Everybody on this list, except for one player, can defend. And that's the one I'm benching. I'm all about defense. Yes, I love offense, but defense wins championships. So I'm benching Curry. I'll take LeBron, Shaq, KD, Kobe, and MJ. Ain't nobody stopping that starting lineup ever, for sure. So that you made it really easy for me, bro. He said, Patrick Beverly gonna get Kevin Garnett out of retirement, so the next 5 years can be his. Patrick Beverly, man. The boy who cried wolf. Patrick Beverly is that guy that just thought he was better than he truly was. He talked a little. I'm not saying he's a bad defender. He's a solid defender, but he's also a dirty player. All right, he's injured multiple players before, including our boy Russell Westbrook. He's somebody who claims to be a great player stopper, which he's not. All right, every time he starts barking, people cook him up. LeBron James has cooked him up. Kevin Durant has cooked him up. He's a chihuahua. He all bark, no bite. And now he's getting passed around like a Kardashian, man. Tough. He said, Dan, what's our best defensive lineup and our best small lineup? Best defensive lineup. I got to go Russ at the 1. I'm going to go. I'll probably put. That's a good question. Let's see. I would have to think this out, man, because we have some pretty solid defenders. I mean, the lineup your boy put out was pretty solid defensively. Look, Trevor Ariza, he had him at the 2. I wouldn't put him there, but situationally, you could put him there. LeBron James, power forward. I still have Anthony Davis in center. I'm still having Dwight. That's my defensive all 5. You could also have Bazemore there, or even Wayne Ellington is a solid defender. So we got a couple of options, man. He said Bazemore at the 2. Kendrick Nunn, too, is a solid defender. So, yeah. I forget that we even have some of these guys. I forget sometimes that we still have Carmelo on the team, that we still have players like that, man, who can make an impact on this roster on one end or the other. My boy said DTLF is one of the few I respect, together with Trevor Lane and Sliwa in terms of basketball analysis. I lost respect to ESPN. Man, that means a lot. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. The respect is mutual. Laker Nation got the smartest fans in the NBA, man. But there's also some other intelligent fans from other fan bases. But yeah, I love our fans, man. You guys will truly know, good basketball breakdown when you see it. He said, how are you going to bring up Melo in defense question? You know what? He got better defensively. He sure did. Than earlier in his career. Now, he was an afterthought on defense early in his career, but he bought in with Portland, and I'm sure Frank Vogel will have him playing the best available defense he could play. Now, That's not what I meant. I was talking about as far as how deep this team is. When I brought up Carmelo, I was talking about I forget he's even on the roster and all the different roster combinations. That's what I was talking about. But nice try, my guy. He says, speaking of real, how trash is Bleacher Report, bro? They truly always try to disrespect my Lakers, but I'm there. I'm there to point it out, and it's really not professional. If I was a website, I would have to leave my personal bias on the side because you want every fan base to come and listen to you. Now, I'll admit I'm biased towards my Lakers, but I still keep it 100% real. I'll tell you if we don't have a shot, and I'll tell you if we do. So yeah, Bleacher Report is just weird for that. How are you gonna have Brooklyn versus Lakers, and then you got Patty Mills, KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, and over here on the right you just got Carmelo, LeBron, and AD. No, what Russell Westbrook? Stop, man. I appreciate that, Miguel. It means a lot, brother. Thanks so much, man. You guys are too kind. He said, do you think Rondo is going to be bought out by the Memphis? I think so. I think right now they currently have like 17 players on the roster, so they got to cut 2. I really don't see how he fits in. By the way, shout out to Memphis. They pulled off an excellent trade. They didn't really want Bledsoe. He doesn't fit there. They already have Ja Morant. Ja Morant's a way better version of Bledsoe, right? They're both slashing type guards. So they flipped Bledsoe for Rondo, Hall of Famer, and for a bum in Patrick Beverly. But then they flipped that bum, and they turned into Jarrett Culver, who, by the way, I don't know why Minnesota would even pull this trade off, but Minnesota always gives up on young talent. Just ask Zach LaVine. They give up on him way too young. Jarrett Culver still has potential. So, yeah. He said, you getting a Westbrook jersey, Dan? If I'm blessed enough to have the extra ends to buy one, then yes, I'm getting a Russell Westbrook jersey, man. But to be honest with you, I was at the mall probably like a month ago, and I was looking at the UCLA Russell. No, not like a month. Actually, this was before we got Russell Westbrook, and I was looking at the UCLA Russell Westbrook jersey, and I was like, man, I'd love for him to become a Laker so I could, cop that jersey, because I don't support usually players from other teams unless they're my favorite players or unless they're Lakers. So once he became a Laker, I was like, man, I'm probably going to go back for that UCLA Russell Westbrook jersey. It's just a classic. I got to have it. He said, what about IT's 81 points? Do you think it's real? The rumor that the Lakers are interested in him? Now, the rumor wasn't that we were interested. The rumor was that we were looking at him as well as other teams. Now, looking at him could be a lot of things. It could be a phone call. It could be a workout, a private workout scheduled for down the stretch at some point in the season, just in case we need some extra backup point guardage. Or it could be just literally looking at him, like saying, oh, how much does he still have in the tank, and considering it. But that doesn't promise anything, man. That's what shocks me about the whole situation with LiAngelo Ball. Now, if you guys watched him in Summer League, he balled out, but he still doesn't have a roster spot. So they're talking about they're in love and enamored with LiAngelo. Well, last I checked, he still doesn't have a contract, not even a 2-way contract. So a lot of the talk is just talk. We gotta put your money where your mouth is. If Michael Jordan and them really loved LiAngelo, I think he would have been signed by now. So I just hope the kid gets on an NBA roster. I hope I'm wrong. But my gut tells me he's probably not even going to get a training camp invite to the Hornets. But I hope he does, man, because he really played really good for Charlotte this summer league. He showed he could be an NBA player as a role player. He showed he has some value, and I think he deserves a spot. I don't get why, GMs be overthinking things. I don't understand that. He said, hey, Dan, I have to go to work in the morning here where I am. Thank you for going live. I was watching while having breakfast. More power to you. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it, man. And, be safe at work. He says, South Bay Lakers should definitely look into Jello. Somebody should, because the kid showed that he has a lot of heart. Think about this. He came into Summer League. He wasn't getting heavy minutes. He started playing 12 to 15 minutes. And then, bam, all of a sudden he started hitting threes and he started getting his minutes up. But I also watching some of those games, you could tell some of his teams wanted to steal the shine from him because they're all respectfully, they're all trying to make the team. So if everybody's raving, hooting, and hollering about Jello, then they're not getting the attention they want. So they started ball hogging a little bit, and he was still able to make his mark even through all the ball hogging and forcing shots from his teammates. So power to him, man. He definitely deserves something. William Scott, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the donation. He said, don't sleep on Nunn. He won 4 high school championships at Simeon in Chicago. He said THT went to Simeon as well. He said he was player of the year, and his conference in college, he averaged 28 points a game. That's freaking dope, man. I appreciate that knowledge right there, brother. Thanks so much. You're right. I mean, we haven't talked about Kendrick Nunn, to be fair, enough. You know, we're talking about a ball handler who can shoot, get in the paint, finish, and he's just very crafty. You know, he's very, very crafty. I like him a lot. Defensively, he can hold his own too. So I think he will get some heavy minutes this season. He might be the 6th man for us. He might play that role that Dennis didn't want to play. So it's going to be fun, man. I can't wait to see. And as I showed you guys the demographic of THT and the way he looked all slimmed down, I'm excited to see where he fits in. Is he going to play some small forward this year? Is he going to play some 2? Is he going to play some backup 1? You know, these are all good problems to have for Coach Frank Vogel. And it's just exciting, man. Dan, this is going to be big for Westbrook and LA. This is a big year for all of us. This is the year we have a parade, whether they want it or not. All right, Laker Nation. This next championship, number 18, to break the record for the most winning franchise of all time, I'm going to lead the parade if I have to, man. I'm dead serious. I don't care about the paint in my face so they don't recognize me on the news or whatever, but I'm leading that Lakers parade, man. That's a promise if we win this championship this year, man. So, yes, we are getting a parade this year if we win, especially. Yes. He's calling it right now. AD is finals MVP. I don't know who's finals MVP, but as long as he's on our team, I'm happy, right? Because that must mean we won the championship. That's all that matters to me, man. And the individual accolades are always nice, and I'm proud of players when they achieve them. I'm excited for them. But what matters more to me is just adding number 18 to the rafters and breaking this record, man. Would be so nice to do. So nice. Dan, please explain why Damian Lillard doesn't want to be a Laker. I don't think he doesn't want to be a Laker, but I think that ship sailed. Once we acquired Russell Westbrook, we gave up all potential assets. So he knows this, and now he, obviously he's all he said was bet, because he knows he's not going to the Lakers. There's no room for him anymore at all. And anyways, in order for that to happen, he would have had to request a trade specifically to us. That's the only way we would have had a chance, because other teams have way more assets to give up. So I think this was the best case scenario. He stayed in Portland, where he won't be able to make a dent, at least for Laker fans. He won't be able to make a dent. He didn't go to one of the rivals. That would have been worse. And, we got better. So, some players, unfortunately, they realize that the franchise is just using them to sell tickets way too late. Kevin Garnett realizes way too late. Then he requested a trade. By then, he went to Boston, unfortunately. But he could have been a Laker earlier in his career had he requested a trade. He, too, was all about loyalty. Allen Iverson realized this way too late in his career, right? Philadelphia. I mean, not to say Philadelphia didn't want to win a championship, but he deserved better. And the way they got rid of him, I wasn't happy about that, especially when they gave their heart and soul to that franchise. So that's what I fear for Damian Lillard. I think Dame, hopefully he doesn't, hopefully Damian Lillard doesn't realize it's too late, that he's way too good for that franchise. And they're never going to get him the help he needs to compete for a title. So he's better off leaving or requesting a trade for sure. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much. The game's actually about to start. For those of you that don't know, 4 minutes to the final Summer League game on the Lakers. I won't be doing a post game today because this game means absolutely nothing. We already scouted the players as much as we could. I will be, posting throughout Twitter. So follow me on Twitter, guys. Information down below, scrolling right here. I'll keep my ear low to the ground. If anything happens, signings or anything that needs to get broken down, I will be live right here with you guys. By the way, regular season schedule will be dropping at some point this week. All right. Hopefully it's not over the weekend because I'm going to have a busy weekend. But as soon as it drops, you know where to find me, guys. All right. Make sure to please smash the like button. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thanks so much to everybody for donating, liking, and if you already haven't, please subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Have a great rest of your evening. Laker